MOGO, MOGO, make OMI great again. OMI, OMI, where the world collects. Tap it, share it, watch the whole world collect. MOGO, MOGO, that's the one you'll never forget.
It's always going to fall under the purview of the lawyers and all that kind of stuff, just to make sure that I didn't build anything that's going to break the world or anything. So just making sure that all that kind of stuff is good. But ultimately, the meat and potatoes of what it is that we're looking to roll out to users is kind of set in stone. And obviously, I see that you shared the pin post there.
Yes, sir.
From yesterday. So yeah, I'm currently, we're currently internally testing some stuff just to make sure that everything is working the way that it's supposed to. And actually, I have the whole thing open on my computer right now. It's funny. I was just on a call with someone talking to them about something there, and then you messaged me. So, but yeah, just working hard to try and make sure that the kind of everything is where we want it to be for kind of a first pass public beta to give the community an opportunity to see kind of some of the things that we've been working on and things that they have to look forward to, and obviously allow for some community feedback as well. Things that they like, things that they don't like, things that they want improved. Although I will say, I feel like we are in line with what the community has expected of us, and obviously are looking to exceed those expectations wherever possible. And so I think that there's going to be a lot of fun integrations that not only come from kind of day one rollout of what we have coming, but over kind of the period of time throughout 2026 and beyond, where we'll be able to kind of integrate some additional partners and things where we can really bring kind of this rewards system that we're building out to a level that we've probably never seen in Web3 before. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, it's going to be good.
That's awesome. Now, let me ask you this, because we were kind of pondering, could some of the weight from the lawyer side, if you can say, are you guys waiting for the Clarity Act or anything like that? Or what you're doing shouldn't, nothing from there could mess up with what you're working on?
Yeah, no, nothing from there should theoretically impact that at all. Yeah, I mean, we're not it's pretty clear that OMI is a utility token.
Yep.
We're not a stable coin. And so worrying about the legislation surrounding stable coins, which seems to be kind of one of the pieces that's gone back and forth recently, won't really impact us at all. I think it's just more so structurally making sense that the rewards that we're planning to give out in the way that everything's been done is on the up and up. Obviously, at the end of the day, we operate in many jurisdictions, so we just need to be mindful that we can have a program that will allow users to participate from wherever they may be. The last thing we want to do is create a rewards program that only 10% of users are eligible for, because that's just going to fall flat on its face from day one. So yeah, no, I don't anticipate that being a holdup, but at the end of the day, I'm also not a lawyer. So
yeah, exactly. You gotta let them do the thing.
I don't know for sure, but I don't anticipate that being an issue. So
now, how did you feel over the weekend when you heard MOGA? Was there any added pressure here, or you already, obviously you're confident in what you guys have been working on? Was that nice even for you, to hear the boss outwardly, speak like that? Because we used to, I guess you would hear him in private, but we're not used to hearing him really talk about OMI like this.
Yeah, it shocked me, to be honest with you. I didn't. I messaged him afterwards and I said thank you for not forgetting about OMI, because the community really appreciated that. And I know I appreciated it as well. And that was something he came up with, 100% on his own. It doesn't, the program is not called, Make OMI Great Again or anything like that. But that was a really cool. It felt like a hat tip, but it felt like a lot of the hard work that's been going in behind the scenes is going to pay off, because I do believe that he believes in what is being built. And so him kind of signing off on as much as he did and standing behind it as much as he did was a sentiment to his commitment to the project, because I think, to be fair, historically, that outward commitment, even though it has existed, was not as visible to users.
Yes.
So I think sometimes we just need that reassurance.
Yeah.
It's that insecurity, show me your phone, who you've been texting, and it's okay, it was Uber Eats, we're good.
Yeah. No,
it was on its way, we're good. So that felt really good, and so I had to make that little meme. That thing was in effect, but it's really great, and I think once it's kind of out in the world, I think it will finally stop some of the what's next questions, because I think we kind of have enough in what is being built to really support, some longevity and growth. And I think it'll kind of put together a lot of pieces between kind of onboarding wider Web3 collectors, rewarding the users that already exist in the VV ecosystem, and encouraging users to acquire and utilize the OMI token, which is really the goal at the end of the day. So.
Incredible. Now, some of the stuff, I know we got to, actually last time I had him in a space, he was like, hey, all you guys need to know is I had an amazing call with Foster. It was like a long time, and he, brought up these great ideas, and I'm just letting you know a few things he has to work on, but I signed off on it. It's all good to go. When you were working on these things to kind of show him, were you like, let me shoot for the moon and just see where it lands when you were coming up with these plans?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, art of the deal 101, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you ask for the minimum and you get the minimum, then you've left everything on the table.
Bingo.
So, I asked for way more than I expected to get. And then I got everything, essentially, that I asked for. Wow. And then I went, oh, shoot, should I have asked for more? Because I went, 10 times more than I thought would have ever realistically been possible.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. And so, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't want to get too much ahead of myself, just because, there is that 11th hour, does the lawyer come in and throw a wrench in one thing or another? Mm-hmm. So assuming that the program remains as is, I think it's going to be absolutely incredible. I think even if some of it was to change, it would still be really, really good.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I asked for kind of as much as I did, but really, I have to give credit where credit is due to the community. Like, this isn't just necessarily, me sitting in a room going, hey, what do I think would be good for this? And what do I think the community wants, right? Like, the community has done an incredible job with giving that feedback about the things that they've wanted to see out of a rewards program and the things that would excite them in participating. And obviously, bearing in mind that a lot of our users are collectors at heart, how do we reward those users in meaningful ways and encourage participation for, like I said, not just users that are already in the ecosystem, but users that we're looking to onboard from other Web3 communities and beyond. And so I think that we have a nice balance for that. And I think users who have been active on VV for as long as many of the people in this chat have been, I think that they'll be very nicely positioned to take full advantage of the rewards, so long as they have the OMI and they're willing to participate with it. So
amazing. And actually, as you give a shout out to the community, Foster, for that, I wanna just back you up in that. Shout out to the community 100%. Whether it's VV or OMI, I believe the constant engagement that we show to the company, it really goes a long way. Foster will tell you that, right? And
Absolutely.
I wanna add one more thing. On the company side, shout out to them for picking talent from the community to now have these jobs in the company. And I'll say this because I'm hearing you talk, and I know a little bit about business, smaller business, but I know the difference between people who work at a thing they really love or people who just work at a thing because it's a job that they need to pay the bills, right? And part of the really dope thing that you're seeing lately, guys, and never let a fudder make you think it's not really important that VV and ECOMI are hiring people from the community, because these guys care because they come from our side, right? Look what's just happened in the last couple of months since VV Magic became part of the event planning and stuff. We've literally 100x'd events as far as getting the community involved. Someone who's just doing this for a job wouldn't know that's what the community has been wanting, right? That's why Foster's like, hey, a lot of things are in here the community wants. Foster, you didn't even know, but when we talk to Eagle Eyes, he's like, bro, we shoot for everything. When they say, hey, we will need this for Star Wars month, we know there's a budget. We shoot for whatever we can, and then if they got to scale it back, they'll do that. But we understand the community, so we say, let's go all out for the Millennium Falcon and Yoda and these things. And I think people really need to pay attention to the point that if this is just a gig that you found on LinkedIn and stuff, you might just be doing the bare minimum to do your job. It takes someone who comes from the community, still steps in, maybe grease trap, I get it, and still listens and then goes back to David and Dad and says, actually, even though we think this is cool, I'm telling you, this is what they would want. We wouldn't have the showcase and gallery in these things if someone wasn't going back to Dan and saying, trust me, whatever the devs think is cool, it is not. The community wants this instead. And they're finally doing those things. And I promise you guys, it's because people from the community are in these jobs now. So congrats to Foster and everyone else, I got to show love for that because I can see a clear difference.
Yeah, shout out to all the monkeys that got hired, man. We really love all the monkeys that got hired.
Right back to the beginning.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you saying that, O'Milly. And yeah, it's like you said, it is a testament to everyone, and it's fun to watch those users get brought in, from the community into these types of jobs. Because, like you said, I see how hard a lot of these people are at work behind the scenes, and Vivi Magic's a perfect example, right? Like she was traveling to these events for years before she was hired, and was basically working for free. Like she was paying to work for the company just because she loved it. And you're never going to find that level of passion anywhere else. And so, are they necessarily always 100% of the time the most qualified people for XYZ job? Like I don't have any, official media training, and I didn't go to school for all that kind of stuff. But you know what? Like you said, the passion comes across for the community, and they see that in people, and hopefully that resonates with them, right? Because they understand these are the same people that we came up with that just loved it for the love of the game. Yeah. And I'm trying to continue that energy as much as I can. I get paid. I tell people I get paid to work 12 hours a week, and there are multiple days each week that I work at least 12 hours a day. You know what I mean? And so it's not about the money, right? Like we're not here. It's not like this is going to retire my bloodline because, I'm making a part-time wage from ECOMI. It's you do it because you love it, because you were doing it for free before. You were making the videos, you were attending the events, or you were putting out posts and sharing your thoughts, because there's a bunch of like-minded people around that just love collecting digitally and love this community and what Vivi has built and what OMI is doing. And so, this program that's coming out will hopefully be a hat tip to that community that has stuck with us, and we're able to have been rewarded for that loyalty, right? Like, yes, the program is starting day one when it comes out, but users will very clearly see how having participated in Vivi and having had that commitment to collect will give them a huge leg up over everyone else that's just coming in trying to make kind of a quick buck moving forward. So really looking forward to it.
And I was that's kind of was one of my concerns. Like everything that comes out, you always wonder, is it just going to be a Wales game? Which I don't mind. Wales keep things alive too. But I was just thinking about the little guy and the person who's just been just carrying the collection since the early days on, maybe they can't have 100, 200 million, million OMI, but they're, packing up. They got to their 10 mil and they're slowly building up from there. And I would hate for them to be forgotten when everything goes live. So
Absolutely.
Again, I love that you're, thinking of all the different sides.
Well, you know what? And 10 million OMI 2 weeks ago isn't what 10 million OMI is today,
right?
And 10 million OMI in a month from now, it might not be what 10 million OMI is today, right? And so that's the really fun thing about crypto. We just distributed, we were a bit behind on our OMI leaderboard wars, just because the wallet hadn't been refilled and, the guys were traveling and whatever. But, those rewards when they went out were worth, 50% more than what they would have been had users gotten them 2 weeks ago. They still got the same amount of OMI tokens, but, that weight, may have made them a couple extra $100 or more, depending on how much they were rewarded. So, yeah, it's fun to watch, how one or two pieces of news that aren't even technically OMI related, although there will be some components that people will want to keep their eyes on. It's interesting how even that news can get people, kind of really excited and back into the project. And so, I'm really looking forward to when we release kind of some OMI specific news, will it bring in new users? Will it, reignite the existing user base? And obviously the answer that we're hoping for is yes on both fronts.
Is hell yes. And actually, you just reminded me why I asked you to come in here is because I was talking to Naked Whale and I was talking to Randy and we were like, okay, the run up has been kind of crazy. It doesn't feel like the usual run up and then straight down, whatever. And we were like, but he didn't even release the files yet. I know David just said the MOGA thing, but I don't know what else it is, but I think it's accumulation of all these things, right? We're seeing 100, 150 new people joining on some days in the last couple months. I think now Vivi doesn't like to show the numbers, but I do simple math. And I think we're probably at like 5,000 people this year, if not more, who are new to the app, like new, made a wallet and have at least one collectible, which is pretty insane because I don't think they did 5,000 in like the last 3 years combined. So in the first 6 months, and that's not people who clicked on the app, looked around, like all that stuff. This is about people who actually, made an account and have a collectible in there. So it is really cool to see that, and I think that's, you add that together with with the affiliate stuff that's happening, with the bullish news of shout to Doctor Stuff. Every time I think about their show, I just hear Dr. Stuff saying, every founder I know talks about their token except David. I know you're used to hearing this too, Foster. So when I heard him say MAGA, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, Dr. Stuff's gonna be so happy, But anyways, yeah, I think all these things kind of adding together is maybe what's pushing this, and that's before the files come out. So awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Obviously, at the end of the day, we always look to kind of exceed expectations, and I think one of the interesting things is that I think expectations are pretty high right now, and so obviously the goal is still to exceed those, and so that's really the goal, and kind of what gets me up every morning and working towards to this goal. And to your point, sometimes it's the little things that I think make a huge difference. Like you said, I think David just acknowledging the token, I think was big for a lot of users because it reinforces to them, like, this is a journey that David is still on, right? Like, this is something that he hasn't forgotten about. And then I think people will, extrapolate, seeing announcements like Roblox and Telegram and realize, just the monthly active user bases that both of those platforms have. I made a post about it the other day, 1.36 billion monthly active users. That's crazy. 1 out of every 6 people on the planet, right? And so when you really consider the impact that could have, even if a fraction of a percentage of those users checked out and joined the ecosystem, I mean, it would be massive for us. And I think you've mentioned, we're seeing some of those numbers. I don't have access to all the internal VV data, but obviously people like VV Meister, they'll look at Collect Chain and they'll look at the new user signups and all that kind of stuff. And so it's factual, right? It's not just an opinion. Oh, we think more people are joining, whatever. No. Like, you can see it in the data.
Exactly.
Third-party drops with Doodles and Pierre Mondrian and all of that, and the participation from people that I was reading posts from people on socials. Oh, hey, I haven't checked out VV since 2021. They're still a thing. Let me check them out.
It's still happening.
Hey, let me open up my account. Or hey, I'm going to sign up for VV. I've never heard of them before. And so it's little things like that people don't realize. Those touch points are so valuable, and it's one of the reasons that joining the Bored Ape community, I was so adamant about Web3 community, the power of Web3 communities, and being able to join them and start to kind of slowly show them the benefits of licensed digital collecting. And then you have other catalysts on the horizon. Collect chain self-custody is a big one for users, right? And so people are speculating, hey, if I own OMI, buy the collectibles in OMI, is there a value proposition there? Hey, they have a rewards program coming out. They're aware of what the community wants. Will those rewards provide that value to us if we own the OMI token, right? And so I think if you understand what it is that we've been trying to build towards, it's not a huge stretch to answer yes to those questions, right? And so once you're able to answer yes to those questions, that's when people start to participate. And it only takes, a little amount of participation at these levels, because no one wants to sell the OMI token. Yeah, there wasn't a ton of people that wanted to buy it, but no one wanted to sell it. So when no one's selling and people are only buying, you're going to see the outcome that you've seen. And, does it sustain? Does it change? Does it whatever? I don't know. It's not something that I particularly worry about. But if you believe in the rewards program, if you believe in what VV is building, and you believe that new users are coming to the platform and they're going to want a reason to collect on VV and hold the OMI token, then it's the most obvious front run opportunity that exists without actually using any insider information. You're just using the information that you already have available to you as a community member to know, hey, the team's committed to this token, the project's committed to the token, they're committed to licensed digital collecting. The outcome is going to be obvious, in my opinion. So
awesome. And reading between the lines here, so I know we can't get into any specifics, but You're mentioning how, it could be kind of important to get the Web3 communities really understanding what's going on, and you getting your apes was an important thing to that. I think we both realized even early on being in banker, like, oh yeah, we need to make sure all these other communities kind of tap into what's going on over here. I think the Doodles thing did exactly that. Shout out to some of my people here in Vivi who are also in Panini, because that's another community we recently really got into, and you just hear every single time when you find the OGs of whatever community, they're all like, yeah, I still have my Vivi. Oh, Vivi's still alive? Like, all these people kind of came from Vivi as well. They just, had to move on and do other stuff. Could we see the Foster files kind of really try to encourage specific communities to come in and check out OMI?
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that we're looking to align on is adding incentives in that don't break any existing systems, but that give some incentive for users to come into the VV and OMI ecosystem and buy the OMI token and participate. So that was one of the things that when I was building the program was, there's really two problems that you're looking to solve when you're building a program like this so far as user engagement and acquisition goes. And that's one, how do you get already engaged users to participate in the program? And then two, equally, if not more important, how do you get new users to come in? Right? Because it's going to be very easy to get the 1,000 to 2,000 core active users to participate.
Yeah, we're there already.
Because they're already participating. They're going to participate in anything because they're ride or dies. They're loyal.
I just saw them all get telegrams so they could buy stickers. So yeah, you're spot on. You're spot on.
They're going to do it, right? But the bigger question is, how do you get the 2 million people that aren't already a part of the community but that are interested in and are adjacent enough and are participating in relatively what we were looking to have them participate in? How do we get them to participate in our thing in a meaningful way, right? And so provide them with additional incentives and rewards, which Vivi, to be fair, is already doing, right? Like if you sign up to Vivi, you get free gems, you get a free collectible or whatever it is that they're doing, right? But on the OMI side, well, how do we get them to get the OMI token, right? And if you have to go through the explanation of, well, if you buy OMI instead of buying gems, you'll save money on app store fees because, depending on the jurisdiction you live in, but like you've already lost them, right? Like this is too long of a conversation. It's not enough benefit for them to go, hey, I'm just going to spend my credit card. I don't really care. So the rewards that I'm looking to integrate and the benefits that I'm looking to give users and other communities to join are hopefully meaningful enough to get them to go, yes, this is something that I want to now participate in, while not detrimentally enough to go to an existing user and say, well, no, now we want you to take your liquidity out of the ecosystem and then go participate somewhere else because it's actually more beneficial to do that. So it's finding that balance. Do we have it perfect? We'll never know until we actually get the user data on board. But that's part of the reason we're going to have a beta so that we can get that feedback from the community. Is this something that's enough to get you to participate? If it's not, what more would you need to have in order to participate? Is the balance where you're looking to have it to be? Is it not? And how can we make it so that it's something that you want to be at? So
beautiful, man. I hope you guys are really, taking in what he's saying here. And for anyone who might be new in my spaces, you guys should know this is not like a panel where you can't come up and speak. Please feel free to come up and say something to Foster, ask a question. It's much better, I think, personally, when you do it this way than like sometimes on the timeline where, words can get mixed up and all this stuff in the middle of, fudders or whatever. So if you got something to say, don't think I'm like some kind of gatekeeper who will not let you up here. You are, if you can see my space, that means you can come up here. Trust me, the people who are just out for trouble, they can't find my space, so I gotta make a burner to get in here. Now, did I get a message from a friend yesterday said I finally got to 1 billion OMI, and now I'm gonna push for 2? Yes, I did. Oh, and NFA, of course. You guys know, people in my space know already. I don't do any of that. But that was awesome to hear.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, good
that's
for
insane.
whoever that person is. I mean, I don't know why you're not giving out financial advice. I understand why I can't, but I mean, I think you're,
I'm an idiot. I always sell OMI and then I tell you about it. No. Actually, I literally just sold 2 million OMI like 3-4 days ago before it ran up. So that's why I don't give any, because I'm an idiot.
How many many times have you done that now? I think didn't you do that a couple months ago?
It happens all the time, bro.
Yeah.
All the time.
Ultimate bottom thing.
So you have to know yourself and be self-aware enough, and I am, and that's why I say do not listen to me when it comes to collectibles or OMI. Listen to me because my superpower is making a space for people and talking to a foster and giving you guys the information. I don't want any reward, any applause from telling you something that goes right, because if it goes wrong, I don't want that hate either. So I'd rather have none of that.
You're definitely not getting any OMI rewards because you're just gonna be a bottom signal.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm not getting anything, but
real talk as far as the rewards go. I mean, obviously, like, congratulations to whoever that person is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of the things that I was really looking to accomplish with this reward system is giving users a reason to participate and create more meaningful rewards outside of kind of the existing framework that exists. So right now, users are essentially capped at 10 million OMI tokens to earn, bonus MCP points and bronze tickets, which is fine, right? Like that's not a bad system necessarily, but it is quite literally signaling to users there is no reason for you to buy more OMI. And so
that's a great point.
I think that is the wrong signaling that we're looking to have now. So I would say, without saying, that
there might be changes to that number. Can I say that, and that's okay if I say it?
Yeah. You will never be able to acquire enough OMI.
Oh my gosh.
To meaningfully participate in the rewards program is what I will say. You can ask me for a number, and it won't matter what number you tell me. It won't be enough. If you want to participate with 1 million tokens, for sure. You want to participate with 100 million tokens, sure. You want to participate with 1 billion tokens, have at it. You want to participate with 10 billion tokens, you're welcome to. Like, you're never going to hit a level where, hey, shoot, I had enough OMI, right? And so I think that was one of the things that I was looking to kind of build into the system is not have an excuse to say that you have enough OMI tokens. And now that's not me saying, hey, go out and spend a bunch of money on OMI.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you guys are going to make your own decisions, and gals, of course. But ultimately, the way that the program is structured is that, you're going to participate within your means to whatever extent those means are, and you're going to be rewarded for it. And that's the important thing. We want every user who wants to participate to be rewarded and to give them fun ways to be rewarded on a regular basis moving forward once it's live. So
okay, and I think people can. You don't even have to read between the lines. You guys are hearing what he's saying. Okay, we have a quick question here or two, and then I'll let you go because I want to get out of here too. And first of all, thank you, Foster. This was not planned, guys. That's why there's no recorded button. But
no, I was actually on a call with Jacob Elma. Actually, when you messaged me, we were talking about some stuff. So and
what could Jacob have to do with OMI?
And then you messaged me. So then I said, sorry, I gotta go.
Yeah,
really needs me. So.
Sometimes things just work out, and I'm very appreciative of that, of course. And guys, my number one thing in these spaces, not only entertainment, can I bring as much value as I can. And if you're in here today, you get definitely, I think it goes without saying. William Hung, she bangs, something. Good to have you. Will OMI announcements be a steady rollout, one at a time over a period of months, or one big here's everything that's coming announcement of everything that's coming?
Yeah, great question. The vast majority of the program, so the meat and potatoes of it, will be rolled out all at once. So the kind of the base level functionality of how users will be able to participate in the rewards ecosystem, and the dashboard, website, all that kind of stuff will be out kind of on day one when it's live, obviously. But so far as future rollouts, there will be iterative progressions simply because we have additional partners with their own rewards that will be joining over the seasons.
Oh, wow.
So we already have things kind of spec'd out to season 3, potentially season 4. So there will be additional rewards added to the pot, shall we say, over the seasons. So users will be able to get kind of a whole different host of rewards. There will be kind of the standard boilerplate ones that will come every season no matter what, but then there'll be kind of unique opportunities and experiences and things to take advantage of as the seasons progress, as a mechanism to keep users engaged and entertained and want to continue to participate and be involved. And so you don't rest on your laurels, right? You don't roll out a program day
100%.
one and go, oh, I'm sure it's good enough, and then just leave it as is. We'll always be looking to iterate and improve. And if users have, new ideas or things, or we're looking at the data over time, because obviously as the program grows and scales, certain things may start to not make sense. Participation at 500 users, it may make sense to have things structured a certain way, but participation at 5,000 users, it may not make sense to have the same structure. So we'll do our best to be absolutely as transparent as possible to the community as we look to, make changes and iterate, but always the intention will be to continue to bring more value to the community and not remove it over time. But yeah, how that looks at the end of the day, we'll have to see as it comes, but that is absolutely the intention at this point. So
Okay, perfect. Now I'm just gonna guess you can't tell us about partners bringing their own kind of, I don't know, maybe rewards. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah, I would say that's a fair assessment. Yeah. So what we're really trying to do is activate brands and partnerships across the VV ecosystem and beyond into our rewards program. And so I don't want to speak too much out of turn to that currently, but obviously, as VV continues to expand their product offerings and lines and things like that, I think it will make sense to obviously expand those reward offerings to users that are participating, because OMI is obviously the official utility token of the ecosystem and is fundamental to the ecosystem growth. So it will make sense to kind of expand across different rewards, and it'll be a different strokes for different folks kind of situation. Not all the rewards may be every user's cup of tea, but I think ultimately what we're looking to do is show off and highlight different brands and partnerships and communities that exist. And if we can help onboard users into different products or opportunities or experiences that exist within this program and kind of cross-pollinate user bases and get more users from other communities into OMI, then it'll be a net positive across everything that we're building. So
Perfect. Okay, let's go. Oh, shout out to this guy. I call him Alpha Man, VV Meister. That's his superhero name. But today I got the Alpha baby. I think Imagi Dragon. I don't know. But he says, can we have transfers linked to MCP levels and OMI burns to get tickets for temporary MCP boost? I was trying to understand that a few times. I don't know if you get it.
Yeah, so the second part first. So bronze tickets, you can burn for additional MCP points to get additional access to VV waitlist drops. It's not a guaranteed access necessarily, but that functionality does exist. So far as MCP feature gated experiences or opportunities, I'd be speaking out of turn to speculate on any of that, simply just because it's a VV specific program. What I will say is for OMI rewards, people will be grateful that they focused on their MCP level. But so far as what VV chooses to do specifically, definitely make the recommendation to them. And I do know that they've already done one, and O'Malley, maybe you can correct me on the specifics. I don't remember what the drop was for specifically, but you needed to be a certain MCP rank in order to access it first or early or something. I don't know if you remember. It was a few months ago.
Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Someone let me know in the crowd.
You had to be like Diamond 1 or something. I don't remember. They did something where you needed to be a specific rank to access it early or to mint something or whatever. I don't remember what it was, but certainly those features and experiences are theoretically possible on the VV side, right? It would just need to align with whatever specific goals that they were looking to accomplish. But definitely pass that feedback along to them. And as a collector myself, I would love to see those types of things.
100%. Now, this question is kind of half you, half of VV. But we were promised at some point there would be like an, OMI only drop, like a OMI drop or something like that. I guess there's no really update on that since we have the OMI gems. This is a while ago.
Yeah, so the functionality is not built out in VV. It would need to be built out on Collect/Stacker.
Okay.
So not to say that it's not possible. It absolutely is. But it's not the highest priority relative to some of the other OMI rewards and things that we're working on in order to get users to participate. There'll be other OMI burn and participation mechanics that will exist in the rewards program that have kind of taken precedent. And to be honest with you, one of the reasons for that is just simply that there's so many moving parts across VV, Collect/Stacker, and ECOMI that to dedicate the time to building out something like that currently, one, you would maybe see it, once every couple months or once, it wouldn't have the impact relative to kind of the dev time and work that it would take to accomplish those systems. But I think once Collect kind of has their 2.0, it will open up some of those doors where natively those opportunities will present themselves more. But currently, it's lower on the priority list relative to other things.
Yeah, that's fair. And we've heard the other things, so we can see. We'll be happy. We'll be happy anyways.
Yeah, it's like those things. Sometimes someone from VV will ask for something like, "Hey, like I really want this," and you're like, for your specific circumstance, like I get it, it makes sense, but like we're working on other things
for the bigger picture.
99% of people. So it's just one of those things, right? Like it's more of a gimmick type thing because unless you're going to do it all the time, which you wouldn't because you'd have to sell down the OMI, it's almost one of those like, hey, we just did it to say that we did it. And it's like, well, no, we'd rather do things that we want to do to say that we did, that users will actually benefit from meaningfully.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
Okay, awesome. I don't see another question here. And sometimes I see people write this, so I'm just going to cover it here because I think I know the answer, but I'll let you be the voice. I don't think there'll be a time where you can burn comics or collectibles and get OMI for it, right? That seems like some kind of illegal type thing, or am I wrong there?
This is just me speculating at this juncture, but it's unlikely that you'd be able to burn a collectible or a comic or something to earn
money in
currency,
some way,
right? Currency value. Could you do it to earn, MCP points, or could you do it? For the record, this is me speculating, right? But could you do it to earn MCP points? Could you do it to earn maybe a more exclusive collectible, like burn 3 collectibles, get another collectible? I don't see why that would be a problem, although maybe someone could correct me. But yeah, like so far as, hey, I'm going to burn this collectible and I'm going to earn OMI, probably not, because where does the OMI come from? And it kind of dilutes the value of could we mint more tokens to accomplish that task? Sure. But to what end, right? Like I'm already building out a reward.
That's not even
actually earn different items and things of value through utilizing OMI. So then to turn around and burn OMI. Now, could you theoretically, I suppose, have a one-of-one ECOMI collectible that we release that you bid for an OMI, and the highest bid, wins the collectible and it burns all the OMI? Probably, right?
Something like that, yeah.
But to take items that you already own and burn them and then earn the token, probably not.
Yeah. What I will say is maybe that's more on a VV side. Again, speculation nation here. If we are able, and David said he wanted this back in the day, so I know it's not high on the priority list, but at some point maybe burning 100 of a comic and getting some kind of prototype or cover, signed cover that they've gotten made, and there's only 50 of them, so each person that burns like 100 comics will get this cover. I think that's more of a VV thing. Maybe we could discuss with them, which they're in the crowd, they're in the grease trap listening. So if you guys want to bring that up, I have a show where we could bring that up and cover it. I'm gonna let someone up here who I think has never been up in my space, and then we can get out of here.
Cool.
Man, this is way better than I expected. That's what she said to do. I don't know how to say this. Is it Imaji?
Yeah, Imagine.
All right, what's up, man?
So I wanted to clarify on what I was asking. What's up, Foster? So I've been around for a while, just to lead with that. So what I meant was I don't know how the functionality with Collect is going to work whenever it launches. And I know they're doing the not interoperability, but self-custody is what I want to say there. So I don't know if this would even be relevant anymore, but we used to be able to do transfers and And like I said, I don't know how it's going to work on the collect side, but I was trying to say, would there be a way to like make an OMI unlock gate on the collect side where you spend some OMI to transfer, you know, collectibles, whatever value, right? Doesn't matter, to other users. So that way, you know, whatever you spend and that gets burned. I think we could burn through a lot of OMI like that, if that would even be relevant or if it's possible.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Did you actually ask me this question on Twitter the other day? By chance?
I did.
Yeah, you did. Okay, I was going to say, did I respond? I feel like I responded.
I think you just liked it.
But, okay, my bad. I definitely saw it because it was ringing a bell as you were saying. So, so whether it's technically possible, the answer is absolutely yes. Whether it will be something that we see on the collect side would be more of a question between collect and VV. I mean, obviously on the ECOMI side, we would absolutely support it, but whether there's any concerns from a licensor perspective with transferring and whether that's a sale and does a black market pop up, and then, are users permitted to do this? Are they allowed to do maybe a certain amount of transfers in any given period of time, and those licensor fees are waived, or whatever the case may be? I'm assuming those are conversations that David would have to have with licensors, and then just certain licensors allow it, to others not. I don't know. I'm curious on the answer as well to you. And I think that's probably why I liked it. It kept it in the back of my mind to maybe bring up at some point when I'm speaking with Patrick or the Collect team or David and the VV team moving forward. Because I know historically they had plans for, specific MCP levels and perks and being able to do transfers and trades and all that kind of stuff. Don't know if that's still in the plans now and what they're aiming to do. But from the ECOMI side, it's absolutely something that we would support, obviously, if it's a utility that they'd like to add to the collectibles. But obviously the flip side to that is, to lower level collectors then feel like they don't own their collectibles if you have to be a certain level or whatever to do it. So something at face value that may seem like a simple, yes, let's sign it off, comes with additional levels of complication potentially. So I don't know the answer for you other than to say, as a person, I would support it.
Got it. Thanks. Yeah, I just feel like it could benefit both sides there to encourage folks to, increase their MCP level. Right, you're going to need collectibles, you'll need points, and of course to spend OMI. So win-win, but I understand all that. Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and I think getting users to increase their MCP level is something that I'm looking to target as well. In our OMI rewards program as well. And so when users start to see the benefits of increasing their MCP levels, when it comes to the rewards, I think that is something that we're looking to accomplish so far as a flywheel is concerned, and getting users to, both increase their MCP level, get them to increase their OMI holdings, and in turn will increase the rewards that they receive. And then they're able to cycle those rewards back into the ecosystem to increase their OMI holdings, to increase their MCP level, and so on and so forth. So no, I'm definitely there with you on that.
Awesome. All right. I think that's it. I don't have any more DMs. I don't see any more comments.
How much you want to bet you get 6 after this space is done?
Oh, I can almost
like clockwork, eh? I know it's coming
every single time. I'll be in a chill space later on today playing music, and someone will be like, "I wish someone asked what Foster did." I'm like, "Come on, bro. What do you want me to do? I brought the guy here. What else do you want from me?" But Foster, thank you so much, man. Always taking the time to come through and chat and kind of clarify things, which I think is really important. And I know that people appreciate it because they really showed up in here.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate the people showing up. I mean, it's 3:30 in the afternoon for me right now, so I don't know where you're based. Based in the world. I mean, I see the European VV fam here. I see the North American VV fam here, and I'm sure we probably even have people from down under or different places as well. But shout out to everyone for swinging by, and hopefully not too much longer of a wait before we can kind of announce what it is I've been working my off on the last little while.
Nice, man. Oh, and one more thing. Anything we can tell us about the V2 for Stacker or Collect? Last time I had you and Patrick in the space, you guys said summertime. So anything you can say there? Because I haven't talked to him in a while, actually.
Is it the summertime yet? I thought we were still spring. No?
June, I think.
June 21st is the June 22nd, or is it?
I don't know. I guess in my birthday, I'm always just thinking it's summer.
Hold on.
Is it official?
I'm looking it up right now.
It might be 21st, 22nd. You're right.
If summer hasn't started yet, we're gonna have an issue. Sunday, June 21st.
Okay, so we've got
You can ask me that question in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
12,
okay.
12 days. Yeah.
Always good to talk to you, buddy.
The summer is 3 months long, so it doesn't mean that just because June 22nd hits that everything hasn't been delivered yet, that it's not coming.
That's fair, but we did hear some guys say MOGA, and he also said to me in the spaces that he signed off on everything. So now the pressure is on you, my friend. But we appreciate you. We appreciate what you're building, and we can't wait to see it all roll out, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you so much for having me on, and thanks for everyone for hanging out with us.
Hell yeah. Everybody in the crowd, are you not fucking entertained? This is what I do. This is what we do. Again, big shout out to the team for finding people from the community who are really, really, really in love with this thing of ours. Because if they're not, they wouldn't be working how hard they're working. You know? So, anyways, that's it. Shout to your OMW. He's on leave right now. His wife just had a kid. He's still in here. This is what I'm talking about. Vivi hiring people who live and breathe and sweat and cry this thing. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Until next time, man. Or actually, let me show myself. When we do an actual space, Foster, I'm gonna need that OMI check. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Bro, stand up.
Wait.